What if the next major leap in professional photography does not come from Sony, Canon, or Fujifilm, but from a company already famous for pushing image quality to extraordinary levels? That is exactly why the rumored Hasselblad X3D 150C has attracted so much attention. A 150 megapixel medium format camera sounds almost excessive by today's standards, yet that is precisely what makes the rumor so fascinating. The camera has not been officially announced, there is no confirmed specification sheet, and Hasselblad has not provided a launch date. At this stage, the entire story is built around leaks, industry speculation, and reports suggesting that Hasselblad could be developing a new generation of ultra-high-resolution medium format technology. Still, the level of interest surrounding the Hasselblad X3D 150C shows that photographers are already wondering whether 150 megapixels could represent the next major step in professional image capture. Before going any further, it is important to make one thing clear. None of the specifications discussed here should be considered officially confirmed. Rumored cameras can change significantly during development, and features discussed through leaks or industry speculation can disappear before a final product reaches the market. Even the name, specifications, pricing, and release timing could change. However, the reason this particular rumor deserves attention is that several discussions appear to be pointing toward the same general idea. Hasselblad may be exploring a camera designed around extremely high resolution and professional image quality. If that eventually becomes reality, the Hasselblad X3D 150C could represent a major evolution of Hasselblad's existing medium format platform. To understand why this possibility is so exciting, it helps to look at Hasselblad's position within the photography industry. Unlike companies that compete primarily on autofocus speed, burst rates, compact bodies, or mass-market pricing, Hasselblad has traditionally focused on image quality, craftsmanship, color reproduction, and the unique look associated with medium-format photography. Its cameras are aimed at professionals and enthusiasts who are willing to prioritize image quality over sheer speed. This philosophy has made Hasselblad particularly respected in fashion, commercial, advertising, product, studio, landscape, and fine art photography. The company's X2D 150C is a perfect example of that approach. With its 100 megapixel medium format sensor, the X2D 150C offers a level of resolution that already exceeds what most photographers realistically need. Its appeal is not simply the number of pixels, however. Medium format imaging can provide exceptional detail, tonal transitions, dynamic range, and a distinctive rendering that is highly valued by professional photographers. For a commercial photographer photographing luxury products, for example, being able to capture extremely fine textures and subtle tonal differences can have a direct impact on the final image. That is why the possibility of moving from 100 megapixels to 150 megapixels is so significant. On paper, it may appear to be simply a 50 megapixel increase. In practical terms, however, a sensor capable of producing 150 megapixel files would capture an enormous amount of information. Fine textures, tiny surface details, delicate patterns, edges, and subtle transitions could all be represented with extraordinary precision. For certain professional applications, that additional information could provide valuable creative flexibility. One of the biggest advantages would be cropping. Photographers frequently need to reframe images after they have been captured, especially in commercial and advertising work. A very high-resolution file provides more freedom to crop while retaining sufficient detail for the final output. With a 150 megapixel image, photographers could potentially create multiple compositions from a single photograph without immediately sacrificing image quality. This could be especially useful when a shoot needs to produce different aspect ratios or versions for different advertising platforms. Large format printing is another area where such resolution could become valuable. Although most images are never printed at enormous physical sizes, professional photographers working in fine art, advertising, galleries, and luxury branding sometimes need extremely large prints. A huge amount of source resolution gives designers and printers more information to work with, helping maintain fine detail when an image is enlarged significantly. For photographers whose work is ultimately displayed at large physical sizes, the extra resolution could be more than a marketing number. However, there is an important question that comes with extremely high-resolution cameras: how much resolution is actually necessary at some point? Additional megapixels stop being about everyday necessity and start becoming about specialized applications and technological advancement. A 150 megapixel camera is unlikely to make every photograph dramatically better simply because it has more pixels. Lens quality, lighting, focus accuracy, subject movement, atmospheric conditions, image processing, and the final viewing format all influence the perceived quality of a photograph. In many situations, a lower resolution camera may already provide more than enough detail. The bigger challenge is that more resolution creates much larger files. A 150 megapixel image could place significant demands on memory cards, computers, storage systems, and backup workflows. Photographers working with hundreds or thousands of images could quickly accumulate enormous amounts of data. This means that sensor resolution alone cannot define the success of a camera like the rumored Hasselblad X3D 150C. Processing speed and workflow efficiency would become equally important. That is where rumored performance improvements become particularly interesting. If Hasselblad increases the resolution dramatically, the company would need to ensure that the internal processing system can handle those files efficiently. Faster processing could reduce the time required to save images, improve camera responsiveness, and allow photographers to review and manage files more smoothly. An improved buffer system could also help when shooting sequences, preventing the camera from slowing down too quickly when the photographer captures multiple high-resolution frames. Whether 150 megapixels becomes the next major standard or simply another milestone in the pursuit of ultimate image quality, the rumored Hasselblad camera represents an intriguing direction for professional photography. If it eventually becomes real, the X3D could give photographers an extraordinary amount of detail, flexibility, and creative control. And if the industry continues moving beyond 150 megapixels, this camera may eventually be remembered not as the end of the resolution race, but as another major step toward the future of digital imaging.